Hi, and welcome to Turra & Company, the mother-daughter podcast about everything. Our mission is to make herstory, aka history, not by going viral, but by doing something that has never been done before in our family. Whether we have 2 listeners or 2 million listeners, we are bringing you our very best, and hopefully we are learning and growing together in the process. Now let's enter into the Turra & Company experience and create herstory, aka history together. Welcome. Welcome to Turra & Company. I know why you laughing.
Because
Ariel just gotta laugh every time.
I do, because usually it's just the countdown in general, but this time it's because normally
So they don't know.
they don't know.
So what y'all don't know is when I first start the show, because I edit the show, I don't just hit the button, record, and start talking. I count down and give it 3 seconds, and that gives me, for all y'all editors out there that edit your show, I'm sure you do the same thing or similar. You give a little gap so you'll know where to start the show, and you cut it off when you're in the editing room. So Ariel is always laughing. She usually is laughing just because she's laughing, but today she laughing because I was giving her the big. I was like, had my hand in the air and I was counting down 1, 2, 3. And if we did video, you probably could see this, but we're not. So we have to explain to you. That just makes us have to be more descriptive.
Yeah.
I think not doing video, and people are probably not going to agree with this, but oh well. I think not doing video makes us have to lean more on how we present stuff to our audience. And I like that.
I can understand that.
They can close their eyes and envision that they're sitting in here with us. They could be our audience.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like it makes it more personable.
I think so too. Because why do you got to look at us talking?
Right. And it makes it feel like you're sitting here with us.
Yeah.
Pull up a chair.
That's what you're doing. All right, company. It's me and Ariel again. We just been having a lot of scheduling conflicts. And so because we trying to get like episodes batched up and done, what y'all don't know about Chelsi is Chelsi works this crazy schedule. Like she works 13-hour days like some of the days, and some days she gets off early, and it just be a lot going on. So what me and Ariel decided to do was give y'all a dose of us again, just the 2 of us, because we are here. We're always at home just chilling, and Chelsi be the wild card factor. So we probably going to be doing a lot more shows without her, unfortunately.
And there might be some where it's just the 2 of them without me.
Yep, it's going to be. Because I'm the only stable in the group.
That's true.
Because y'all be like trying to live y'all life. And that's fine. Mm-hmm. I'm cool with it. And then maybe one day we'll get some guest co-hosts, and then both of y'all could go. Listen, I'm open to a lot of different things.
Will there ever be an episode where it's just me and Chelsi and no you?
If you want it to be.
Okay. Just curious.
I'm curious to see if that would ever happen.
I think that would be fun. That would be fun.
It probably would be to see but y'all better not be up in here cussing, keeping it. Y'all better keep it clean.
I mean, you edited, so there would just be a lot of
No,
beeps.
I'm not going to be. Listen, this is a clean show, and y'all better be clean if I'm not in here with y'all. But anyway, company, guess what? We're back for another episode. This episode, we're going to be talking about our emotions. Are your emotions intact? And I know you're probably like, where does Turra & Company, where does she get these ideas? You know why? Because in my everyday life, I just see stuff and I'll be like, I'm going to do a show about that. So lately I've been running into a lot of emotional people. Like, and when I say emotional, let me say this. Emotions to me are, and I think we talked about a little bit on emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. When you have that emotional intelligence, one of the things you have is control over your emotions.
Yeah.
Like you're not all over the map, and you know what emotion goes with what situation.
Right.
Can you agree?
I would agree, yes.
So I've been running into people that are probably not very high on the emotional intelligence.
Or even, and this is an observation that I've found in my regular life and from the stories that you tell me, is there are a lot of people in the world that just are out here just living their lives and thinking that they have their emotions in check, but aren't aware.
They're wearing their emotion on their sleeve, as they say.
And they're not aware of how that impacts the world. And they don't know if, and probably because they haven't seen what that looks like. So they don't know if it's just how.
Right. Maybe that's all they've seen.
Right.
Is somebody emotionally unstable in their household.
Right. Or in their friend group or what have you. And they're just like, not knowing, like they're not aware of how, those things can affect other people. Or it might even be like there could be something going on there. Like you could just be having an off day and you just were like bump everybody.
Right. If I don't know you, and if I don't know you that well, I don't know how you handle emotions. Like that's one of the first things that I look at when I meet a new person, right? I look at how you handle your emotions. Now, I will say Turra can be a button pusher. I'm just putting it out there. I'm one of those people that I push people's buttons. So emotions come up early for people because people expect, what I have found in my life is people expect you to be sugar and spice and everything nice. And I remember that so much growing up. Wasn't that a thing?
Powerpuff Girls.
Well, I think even before that.
But I know it because of the Powerpuff Girls.
I think even before that, it must have been like a nursery rhyme or something. Sugar and spice and everything. Girls were supposed to be sugar and spice and everything nice. And boys were something like toads and frodes. It was something. I'm going to look it up. We don't bring our phones in the studio, y'all.
No,
so we don't. And I don't use my computer because we want to just be engaged, right? I don't allow phones in the studio because I don't want us to be tempted to pick up our phones and get distracted. So that's why sometimes we're like, I bring up things and we can't like Google it right quick.
But then we release an addendum the next episode.
Right. Do we have any addendums for this episode?
I don't think so. Not this time.
Yeah, we don't have any. Well, you know what? We do got some shout outs.
Oh, okay.
I've almost forgot. So fun fact, YouTube blowing up.
Really?
So listen. I'm going to preface this before I say it. Any growth is growth to me. It may not be the numbers that you think about, not you, but the company. Mm-hmm. But growth is growth. So normally when we publish an episode, we would get 1 to 2 views, and that was on a lucky week on YouTube. We get more listens and downloads through other major podcast platforms, but we were only getting like 1 or 2 on our YouTube. This week, we got 28 views on our YouTube. That is like landmark for us right now. Oh, the sky is the limit. 28 is a lot. And you're probably like, 28? 28,000? 2,800? No, 28. 2 and 8. You heard me. Don't be acting like you're
okay.
Right. Don't be trying to add no commas and zeros. I said what I said, 28. But that's growth because I watch those numbers, right? And I get a report that is emailed to me every week, and it tells me, and that's not even really, I don't even know that it was it the full week. I got to look at that if it does the full week, but whatever, it was 28. So what I want to do is give a shout out to Rhonda Wright.
That's our grandma.
Right. I was about to say, I'm not just saying it because she is my mother-in-law and the kid's grandmother, but she had commented on our YouTube episodes, a couple of YouTube episodes. So I was like, let me give her a shout out. I told people that if you give us, if you interact with us, I will give you a shout out on the show. So Rhonda Wright, this one's for you. This shout out's for you. So just keep looking at us on YouTube. I say this every time. It's the easiest way to watch us because you don't even have to pay. Fun fact, let me preface this. If you don't have a paid subscription to YouTube, you're going to have ads. They're not my ads.
Right.
They're YouTube's ads.
Right.
But if you have a subscription, I have a YouTube subscription. I love it.
Oh, it's the best. I'm so glad you got that.
The family, yeah. Yeah, the family, it's only $29 and you get like 5 accounts. Like you get 5 people can be in your family.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful. And we don't get the ads and we can watch whatever we want. It's so great. So go on YouTube, watch us, listen. I'm saying watch, but I really mean listen. But let's get started with the show. Today's show... What's it about?
It's about emotions.
It's about emotions. Today's show, are your emotions intact? So this is one of those shows where I want to give the definition.
We haven't done that in a while.
I haven't because we kind of been talking about stuff that hasn't needed to be defined. But this one, I want to make sure company is on the right track and we're on the right track.
Yeah.
So the Merriam-Webster definition, and you laughing because I like to be specific, because let me tell y'all something.
There's so many dictionaries.
There is, but the only one I trust is Merriam-Webster.
That's fair.
That's the one I grew up with in school. And that, if you pay attention, you could Google something and you'll see a definition, and then you can go to Merriam-Webster and you'll be like, why? Because it seemed like the other definitions be giving you the slang outdoors, but Merriam keeps it gully, like from 1800s.
18.
Merriam been rocking since the 1800s or something, because it just be solid where you be like, okay, it's just deeper.
Or this is a quick tiny tangent. Mm-hmm. I can't stand a definition because I was always taught you can't use the word in the definition.
Exactly.
That's my biggest thing. If a definition has the word in the definition, I immediately don't listen to it.
Yeah, and that's what you do when you Google definitions. I used to just Google the definition and use it, but now I'm like, nah, I got to give company the 1800s. I got to go back to Merriam. Merriam, Merriam Webster. When you getting definitions up in here, that's where they're coming from. So anyway, the definition of emotions, as Merriam puts it, is a conscious mental reaction such as anger or fear, subjectively experienced as strong feeling, usually directed toward a specific object and typically accompanied by physiological and behavioral changes in the body. So I think that's interesting that it says physiological changes in the body, because I think sometimes we think emotions and we think, well, it didn't affect me.
Yeah.
But according to this definition, your emotions affect every part of you,
They
right?
do, yeah.
So what I wanted to take the stance of from emotions, first of all, I'm going to answer the question, are my emotions intact? I think they are, of course, but they're not, of course.
I think for the most part you do, and I think
but I'm going to stop you right there. You know why?
Because I think you know where I'm also going.
Where you going?
So I think that there's one emotion in particular.
Oh, baby. That one that start with A?
Yeah, that one in particular.
Yeah.
And we've discussed it before. Like,
baby.
That one.
That anger?
Yeah.
I go 0 to 100. Yeah. Somebody could just say one little thing to me and you'll be forgetting that I'm Turra. You'll be like, who is this? Yeah, I can get hot and heavy real quick. Because you know what? Because I try to give people grace. And that don't even make sense because grace and anger don't even go together. But I do. I try to give people grace. But then it's we talked about it before, disrespect. Mm-hmm. If I feel like I've been disrespected, that's where the anger comes from. And I got to defend my honor. Mm-hmm. And that's where the anger, I don't feel fear, but I'm saying that, but that's why I stopped. I was going to say I don't feel fear as much as I feel anger, but fear and anger go together because usually people get angry when they're afraid.
Yeah. So
I have to watch that. I'm going to have to to tap into that a little bit more. And when I'm getting angry, I need to delve in a little bit more and say, am I angry right now because of fear? Mm-hmm. You know, I'm going to have to tap into that. But I think all my other emotions, like I don't be running around crying.
Yeah, because I'm not
a crier.
Right. And in my 20, what am I?
28, 29. I don't know. You don't even know. How am I supposed to know?
You're my mother. In my 28 years.
But I don't be thinking, I got to keep up with my own age.
That's true. In my 28 years of life, mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever seen you in like an extreme
breakdown.
No, nothing like that.
Because I get angry before I do that.
Yeah, and I've seen you like, you know, joyous, happy, excited,
I
all
love
of
being
those.
Joyous and happy.
Right, and I don't see you get like I've seen you get like just melancholy kind of, or just like tired or like exhausted, but never really like sad. Like that's not like a thing that I've seen in you.
I'm not a sad person.
Yeah,
I like to laugh. I like to be happy. I like to be joyous. And fun fact about me, when the anger comes, once I done said what I done said,
it's done.
You probably gonna think I'm crazy because I'll turn around and 5 minutes later be like, "What we having for dinner?"
Yeah, and right, and you'll be making a joke and
I don't hang on to it. I do not hang on to it. I say what I snap out, literally. If you've been a witness to it, you've been a witness.
Yeah,
I snap out, and then I come back to myself because once I've said what I've said, I've gotten it out. I'm good. My zen comes back. But I have to get it off my chest. Now, I'm not one of those people that you can do something or say something to me and I'll hold on to it and go somewhere and save it for another day. I can't do that because fun fact, when Daddy and I first got married, I tried it. Like I would try to ignore some things that he would do. So he would do something. I was like, I'm okay with it. Then he would do something else. I'm okay with it. Girl, by that third thing, not being okay with it, he would get the 1, 2, 3 because he would get the first thing that I put away, the second thing that I put away. I said, you know what, Turra? If just give it to the person as it comes. I'm not a good person. I'm not a person that is good at holding it in. Yeah, I'm not good at that.
I think that's funny. Because I try to hold it in, but I think, and I've said this before, I think, and this is anyone who knows me in person knows this about me. Like this is the biggest thing they say, is that my face is always a giveaway.
Right. And your hand, because you'll throw that stupid hand up.
And I'm literally doing it right now.
Right, but you will throw your hand up in somebody's face and be like, "Not today."
I will wave something away.
You wave your troubles away.
Like it's physically there, very quickly. My face will be the response first. Like if I'm annoyed, you'll see it. If I'm happy, you'll see it. If I think something is off, you'll see it in my face.
Right.
And a lot of times, because the amount of times I've had like friends and people come that I'm talking to, they'll tell me something that's like crazy or like something weird, and I'll make a face and they'll be like, "What's that face for?" And I'll be like, "I don't know. That's just my natural response. I don't know what to tell you." But yeah, I get it. I can't hold. I also am like that.
But you're better than me at it because you will give people more chances than I do.
Yeah, and a lot of it.
You will boil over like a hot lava grease.
And it's very rare that I get pushed to that point. Like I have to be really, really.
But it happens.
It happens, but I have to be really, really pushed. To that point.
I think the push is when you tuck it away. So it depends on how many times somebody has come at you. Like if somebody's come at you 3 times, it ain't gonna be as much of a boil over. But if somebody come at you 10 times,
right? And I've noticed that for me, it's when I have to repeat myself.
You don't like repeating yourself?
I don't like having to
want them to hear you the first time?
I don't like when I have to repeat my boundaries. That's what it is. Like if I express to you that something is a problem for me and that you did something that bothers me, I don't like having that conversation multiple times.
You just brought up a good point. We need to do a show on boundaries. Out of all the shows we've done, we've never done one on boundaries. So that's coming at y'all soon. We're going to do boundaries because when you said that made me think of some things, but I'll save it for that show.
Yeah.
But for the most part, do you think you have are your emotions intact?
I think so. I think I'm better at self-regulate, at least now at 28 years old. I think I'm better at it now than I was at probably like 16.
I hope so. Like, I hope I'm better at it at 52 than I was at 28.
And I think a lot of that, I even think I'm better at it now than I probably was even a year ago.
Yeah, I think you are getting better. Like, I think, so one of the things, let's tell the viewers about this. Okay, I think we've mentioned it before, but let's just bring it back up again. One of the things about Ariel that y'all may or may not know is Ariel went off to college for 5 years. So people always like, dang, she lived with y'all. She hasn't lived with us the whole time. Like she went off, was at college, lived in an apartment. You know, in the beginning when she went off to college, she would come home every break. But towards the end, like the third, fourth, and fifth year, she was like, deuces, I got a job. I'm not coming home. Like, she was acting like she didn't know who we was. So I need y'all to know that. So for 5 years, Ariel lived away from us. So I think what happened when you came back is you kind of had to reacclimate yourself into the household as an adult.
Yeah.
Because when you left, you were a smooth 18-year-old.
I was still a kid. I was still.
And you came back as a mid 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Had been away from us, living your own life with your own kitchen. Like, she lived in she lived in the dorms, the first 2 years?
Yeah, the first 2 years.
And then the last 3 years, she lived in an apartment with roommates. So Ariel had been out on her own, paying bills. Because guess what? I need people to know this. I raised my kids to be super self-sufficient, if y'all didn't know, from the milk and the cereal. So when Ariel was going off to college, she had a stipend. Like, we would give her a certain amount of money, and that we would do a budget.
Mm-hmm.
And that money, she knew exactly what she needed to pay her rent. You know, we would map it out. We would map it out. And so Ariel would know, okay, you got this money over here for that, and you got this money over here. And Ariel did it. She never called home and was like, Ma, I need you to help me with this, or I need you. She made it work. And then towards the end, when did you get a job? Because you started working.
I got a job
probably the third year?
No, actually. I got a job my second year, technically. Okay. I had a job for like a little bit towards the end of my second year.
Okay. So from the second year on, because you worked all the whole time. Yeah. So that really helped, because now not only did she have her stipend to pay her rent and her bills, now you had play money, because your money that you made from your job, which wasn't shabby.
Yeah, it was a campus job. And fun fact, if you get the chance to get like a campus job, they were nice, because the campus job I had, like, no matter how you did, no matter what, every semester you would get, I want to say, what was it, a 50 cent, 25 cent raise, no matter what. So,
and you worked on campus, so you were able to do your homework, because you worked in the computer lab.
I worked in the computer lab in the college that I was in, College of Business, and I was there. It was in the building that I was already in every day. Like, it was a blessing to have that job.
Yeah,
and I was very glad and very blessed to have it. And it was a part of what gave me a lot of my freedom, because, of course, I had my stipend. I had, my little bit of fun money.
Yeah.
But with even that, I had a
now you had more.
Right. I had even more fun money. So I was like, oh, I can do,
Yeah, you was rocking it.
Right, I was.
And you did good, because like I said, never did you ever call me and be like, Ma, I need this. Or you never needed nothing. Like, I used to be connected to your bank account, and I used to look, and I used to be like, call you, and I'd be like, Ariel, you're getting a little low. You okay? And you'd be like, yeah, I get paid next week. I'm just going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you had it all figured out. So listen, kudos. One thing I am so proud of you and Chelsi about is y'all handle y'all business. I tell people that all the time, because y'all know y'all got to.
Right.
Because y'all can't, because I'm not that parent that y'all can just come to and be like, Ma, I need to borrow. Now, I'm not saying I won't give it to you, but it's gonna be like you went to a bank.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fill out an application, because y'all work every day. Y'all have really good jobs and y'all make really good money. So to me, if you living under my roof and with what I know you guys have as far as bills, you should be living a really good life. So there's no way that you guys should ever have to spill into my pot.
Yeah.
Because you have your own pot and you got to manage it.
Right. And and same with Chelsi. Like, we've always figured it out. We've always been able to make it work.
You have to figure it out. And you guys take my advice. Like, I'll never forget. When Chelsi first got her car, I said, Chelsi, what I think you should do, because she didn't have a lot of bills. I said, what I think you should do, and she didn't even have the job that she has now. I said, I think you should pay your car note every time you get paid, because it was a small note. And I said, pay it every time you get paid. And she looked at me, she gave me 3 to 4 business days. She gave me that. And then next thing I know, she started doing it. She didn't tell me she was doing it because that's how honorary she is. But she started doing it. Pandemic comes. She gets laid off. Her unemployment doesn't kick in for Chelsi didn't get her unemployment for 3-4 months.
Right. It was a whole
But she
thing.
never missed a car payment.
Never.
She never came to me and was like, Mom, can you? She never had to go to the bank and say, hey, can you skip me a payment? Because, back when COVID first came out, they was letting you could skip credit card payments, you could skip whatever. She never had to do that because she had her money upright. And I tell people that all the time. I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong being a child, I think when you allow people to know that they can borrow from you, that gives them lack of motivation to do what's right with their own pot.
I think you're close. I think you're right to an extent.
Okay.
And I think that works with regular people. And let me tell you what I mean.
Yeah, because I really want to know.
Is I think that works. I think that's very true with people who live, not even with regular people. I think that's how it is with people who want to take advantage.
Mm.
And I also think that you should,
or you just don't have the discipline,
or you don't have the discipline.
Yeah.
I think people who have the discipline and people who don't, but you also have to kind of treat the situation, not to be rude, but you have to kind of treat people like they don't have the discipline. You have to
That's true.
You have to treat the baseline like you're not going to get it back. Like you have to treat the baseline like this person.
But if you don't give me my money back, I'm never giving you money again.
Exactly. So you have
there has to be some you kind of got to get strict with it.
Yeah.
Especially when it's a grown up, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you a real grown, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm 52. And I'm going to tell you, borrowing money for me is daunting.
Mm-hmm.
It's daunting. And I'm not saying that I would never, but it's daunting to me that I would ever. Because in my grown life, I have a savings account that is a certain amount. I have, I just have cushions.
Right.
And I know those cushions can go away at any time because one thing could hit you and it'll take your cushion. But I'm real diligent and intentional on the cushion, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. But if I did have to borrow from you, a person, first of all, I be feeling some type of way, right?
That's not
like right. My tail be tucked so between my
the amount
legs.
Like shame. That's shame. Emotion,
right?
Like that. Like
So that emotion that's not intact for a reason,
right?
Because I don't ever want to get comfortable going to somebody be like, dude. Can I borrow $200? Like, it makes me feel sometimes like I have to muster it up to even think about borrowing money. Even sometimes if it's a 20, like say, for instance, you went somewhere and you thought you had your wallet and you didn't, you'd be like, dang, girl, loan me this 20. I still feel sometimes, and I want to get you your money right away.
Right. And then, in today's day and age, borrowing $20 is like, in that situation, that's
like
$2. Yeah, that's like $2. And in this day and age, it's easy. It's like, let me Apple Pay you or let me Venmo you the money right now. Because you have the money in your bank account. You just forgot your wallet.
Exactly.
Whatever the case may be. Yada, yada, yada. Whatever it is.
But to be in that situation where you need to borrow money because you don't have the money.
Right. That's a whole other.
Girl, you be feeling some type of way. So listen. Get yourselves together out there. If y'all out here borrowing money in your grown old age,
you need to reevaluate.
You need to reevaluate because first of all, how you living.
Right.
Is your job satisfying what it needs to satisfy?
Mm-hmm.
I've always been that type of person. Like I had jobs that didn't satisfy what I needed to satisfy. So I was like, want ads. Indeed, let's go. Because I need more money, right? Because once your money is like lean, it stresses you out.
Right.
Emotions.
Stress.
That's when your emotions is not intact. Like if
when
my money is funny,
that
makes me angry. So anything you say to me, I'm going to pop off.
Yeah.
if my money is funny. So, yeah, get your money intact. You don't know, but that is bringing out an emotion.
Yeah.
So, are my emotions intact? I believe they are. Just don't hit me with disrespect because then you'll get angry to her. But I will say, you don't get angry to her right off the bat. Like, I hate to paint myself as angry girl. I'm not one of these girls that you see that just be popping off, but I do have that button. Now, what unsettles me is when I'm talking to you. We talking, and you just bust out crying.
Yeah.
I can't deal with it. I don't even know what to do with you. Company, write to us on our socials. Tell me what I'm supposed to do for you if you bust out crying. Now, let me say this. If somebody dies, I know what to do. If you tell me somebody died and you bust out crying, I got you. But if you're just telling me I went to Walmart yesterday, and then you bust out crying, I can't. I can't. I don't know what to do for you. Because that's a regular story. Why are we crying about that?
Yeah.
I can't do the tears. Because there's no crying in baseball. Like, I always think there's no crying in baseball. I just was conditioned. Like, now, let me tell you this. When I was younger, I used to be the biggest crybaby. Something would fall on the floor. My ice cream would fall on the floor. My ice cream. I probably got it all out. That's probably why you don't see it. Because I think when I was younger, baby, I used to stay cried up. But now I just be like, nah, that ain't nothing to be crying about. Like, I literally have talks with myself. That ain't nothing to be crying about. What you crying about?
See,
like, when people cry to me, I be like, I'm going to be honest with y'all. If you ever cry in front of me and it's not something I deem cry worthy, this is what's going through my mind. Why are you crying about that? That is not nothing to be crying about.
And you're not going to say anything about it.
I would never say anything, but you probably going to feel it a little bit. You wouldn't hear it.
But you'll feel
you
it.
probably would feel it because I'll be looking at you like, what is happening right now? And let me tell you another thing about crying. I think I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I sometimes feel like people use crying as a distraction. I think they sometimes use it as pity because they want you to pity them. I think they use it to get attention or to distract. Like, if I'm going hard at you, bop, 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 I'm angry. Because y'all know I can turn it up.
Studies done about that.
I can turn it up, right? I can turn it up. And it is not, it is, listen, I'm not bragging about this, but it is not uncommon for me to make somebody cry, which people word it like that. I word it like this. You made yourself cry because you shouldn't have made me angry. See, this is how my head think. You made yourself cry because you shouldn't have made me angry and made me pop off on you. And like, I see so many people that will do things to people. The person will not let them slide, will get with them and be like, blah, 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 blah. And then the person will be like, well, I don't understand why you're... Whoa. You don't got no right to cry. You started this. I'm ending it. Why are you crying?
Right.
Baby, it ain't no sugar and spice and everything nice because guess what? You started it. I don't have to end it the way you wanted me to end it or the way you would end it. I'm ending it how I end it.
Right.
When I end it, I shut it down. You know, the point blank and the period.
Point blank and the period.
You know, the point blank. Professionally, though. Because I'm telling you, it's not ghetto. It's just, it's expressing myself. I do have a knack for expressing myself. But you're not going to throw the rock at my house and break my window and think I'm not going to say something to you. Yeah. And then you want to cry. I didn't mean to break the window. I just did. No, you don't get to cry because now you know what that does if there's witnesses?
That makes you look like the bad.
Whoever's crying.
It makes you look like
they get the attention. Oh, you made her cry.
Right, yeah.
No, she shouldn't have stepped to me or he shouldn't have stepped to me with that ish. Because that made themselves cry. So how about this? I'm going to work on my anger, but you work on what you coming with to me to make me angry. Because I'm not no punk. I ain't said that in a long time. I used to say that all the time in season 1.
You ain't no punk.
I'm not no punk. Stop treating me like I'm a punk. Stop crying in front of me when stuff don't need to be cried about. Your ice cream failed. Just deal with it. Go pick it up.
And buy yourself a new ice cream.
Buy yourself a new ice cream and don't borrow no money to buy it.
See, it's funny that you bring up crying because
Yeah, you're a crier.
I am a crier. And what's funny is like, I'm not a sad crier. I am an angry crier. Like the more frustrated I am, the more likely I am to cry.
And see, this the thing. And I hope you get it one day. Once them tears fall, I feel like people can't take you serious.
No, and it makes it worse is because like I know that, and that's what makes me even more angry is because now you probably are sitting over there thinking that you won, but I'm sitting over here like I want to, like it makes me even more mad.
Yeah.
Because the thing about being an angry crier is like, I think for me personally, it's because something in my brain gets mixed up. And something in my brain takes the anger that I feel in the depths of my soul because it only happens when I am like furious.
Yeah.
And it's
when somebody got you shaking.
Literally, and it'll only be when someone like I said earlier, when I have to. I don't know if I've said, like I said, when I've had to repeat myself.
Yeah, you said that early.
Multiple times when I've had to repeat myself and this person is still pushing. And I'm just like, the fact that you are not respecting me enough to listen to me.
That's all about that disrespect.
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
That's the core of all anger. Disrespect.
The core of all anger is disrespect. But yeah, it will be, I will feel like the anger just burning to my deepest core, and then the tears will fall. And then I'll be so, like, in the back of my mind, like after it's all over, I'll be like, oh,
can't believe I
can't
cried.
believe that's my release.
I get that.
And it makes it even more frustrating. Another thing that I've learned that I don't respond well to when it comes to other people and
their emotions.
I don't respond well or at all to yelling. I don't. I really, something in
that elevated voice, you don't like it?
I don't do it. I don't engage. I'm not doing it. Here's the thing. I think it's important to take into consideration context. I don't think there's ever been a situation where maybe you and I have had a disagreement where you've been explicitly mad at me, and it's been like you're yelling at me as Ariel, but you've been mad at Ariel, the thing that I did
or didn't do.
Yeah. And it's not, and I happen to be the person that did the thing or didn't do the thing.
Right.
But I don't take it personally.
Right.
Like, I know
that's what I'm saying. I'm surrounded by that because Chelsi doesn't.
Right.
You don't, and your dad doesn't. Like, people would probably be surprised to hear Neil and I, we have, in 29 years of marriage, we have never stopped speaking to each other. Like, you got them couples that be doing I don't do this, but you got couples out there that do this. I don't do it. Where they stop speaking.
And they'll do the whole silent treatment thing.
Yeah. Neil and I never do that. So we've never went to bed angry, and you're not supposed to, and we don't. I could go off on one of my tangents and I'll come up in my space, or Neil will go to his space. But by the time he come up for bed, I'm going to be like, hey, what's up? Like, it's not, I don't want y'all to think it's a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but it's really a thing of, once I've said it, I really mean this. It's gone for me. Now, if it sticks, which it doesn't stick, because Neil don't be caring about what I be saying. But if it sticks, then he'll be like, oh, so you talking to me now?
Right.
Oh, so I'm not, and then we can have a discussion. If you want to further discuss it, we can definitely further discuss it. But the thing that people need to know is, once I've let it out, I left everything on the floor.
I didn't in your court now.
Yeah, I didn't take anything with me. That's how I'm able to turn around and talk back to you and say, hey, what's up? Hey, what you want for dinner? Hey, what we having for dinner? Hey, what's this? What's that? I can literally, and it's not even fake. It's true. It's true. I'm back to my normal. I wish I didn't have to spin out like that, but sometimes y'all be making me spin out. Because y'all just don't be doing what needs to be done. And so if I ask you once, and then you tell me you're going to do it, and then you don't do it, and then I ask you twice, and you tell me you're going to do it, and you don't do it, third time I'm spinning.
Yeah.
And y'all act like y'all don't believe it. As much as I spin out, They do it all the time, company. You would think as much as I spin out in my anger emotion that would clean things up and people be like, let me just go ahead.
That's probably
because that's how I am. If my mother used to get angry about a thing, you best believe she was never talking to me again about that thing. Because I'm gonna cure it. Why would I get yelled at for the same thing twice?
It's probably
that is insane.
I feel like it's the taken for granted thing. And the reason I say that...
Y'all take me for granted?
No, I think
That's why I spin out.
I don't think it's that. I think we take the anger for granted. Because
y'all just like, she ain't gonna do nothing. She just gonna yell.
Right. I think that's it. I think that's like,
y'all just used to it?
Yeah, I think that. Or it's like, she's not mad at me personally. She's just mad that the dishes aren't done. I'll do them eventually. It'll be fine.
Oh my
God.
I think
for me, I think that's what it is. It's like, she's not mad at me.
I think it's for everybody because all y'all do the same thing. I be like, as much as I spin out, you would think, because I used to be like this. If my mother would spin out about dishes not being done, and I knew she got home at 5:30, and I've been home since 3, you best believe them dishes was going to be done by 5:30 because I was not about to go through her coming through the door, kicking me and the dog. We didn't never have a dog, but I just didn't want to hear her mouth.
Yeah.
So I would just do it because I'm that type of person. I don't like people talking to me.
Oh, this is a little bit
I don't like getting reprimanded.
This is a mini sidebar, but I think this is also tangentially related, but we'll get there. So there was a study that was done. They did it mostly on sons, but I feel like this also applies with daughters too. After, I want to say
here you go with your fake studies. Why you always coming in here with your studies without the facts?
Because I can't remember. I can never remember like where.
So that's why I call them fake studies.
Well, I don't have like
ghetto
links to
study.
them.
Go on with your ghetto study.
Whatever
what is
this
study?
So a study was done, and they did it on like young boys, and I think this also probably applies to young girls too. But after, I want to say it's like age 5 to 10, young boys, they tune out the voices of their mothers because they're looking for unfamiliar and unsafe sounds. Because they already know that the sound of their mother's voice is safe and like,
right. So I got to change my pitch. Now I got to go a different pitch.
I don't even think. I think as long as me and Chelsi know that it's you, I think
and your daddy. It's all three of y'all.
I think as long as we know that it's you, I think. Well, because I think the same goes for
Dad.
Yeah, the same does go for
I
Dad.
know it do, because he don't be caring one bit. I be like, Neil, you need to blah, 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 da, da, da. And he be like, okay.
Yeah.
And then he will literally do it the next time. And you be like, really? We just had the conversation and you agreed not to do it. And the thing that makes it hard in a marriage is I'm your mother. So to a certain degree, to respect me, you need to do it.
Right.
But Neil is a whole different ballgame. We equals.
Right.
So how do you get your equal to move? Asking the real questions.
Right.
How do you motivate him or her to get moving on things? So Neil doesn't require a lot from me. Like, it's just he don't care about stuff the way that I care about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always like, gosh, did you get this? Did you do that? Did you? I'm always, my mind is clicking a mile a minute. I'm taking care of business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Neil don't care because he trusts me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't ever have to ask me, did you pay the light bill? He knows it's paid. He doesn't have to worry about his cell phone bill. Like, the stuff that I'm in charge of, he doesn't really ever have to check in with me because he knows I got it. But him, I'll be like, Neil, did you remember that blah, blah, blah needed to be done? Oh, shoot. I be like, really, too? That's why I don't give him much. That's why I'm such a control freak. I can't trust people to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't trust other people to do stuff. But Neil trusts me to the max.
I mean, I'm sure you trust him to do other things. It's just...
Like what?
I don't know.
Not stuff that matters. Like, that stuff that not light bill, because he just doesn't have that concept of time. Like if I go downstairs right now and be like, Neil, what day is it? He'll be like, I don't know. So in order for you to be paying bills and taking care of stuff, you kind of got to know what day of the week it is.
That's true. I mean, when we were young, you trusted him to take care of me and Chelsea. So there was.
Yeah, but that's different.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I mean. Like
stuff like that, he could do. You're right. Stuff like that, absolutely. Cooking the dinner, washing our clothes, all that. We gonna get them. That laundry was gonna get done. That meals was gonna get cooked. Stuff like that. Yes, but as far as bills and money managing stuff, he can save that money in his wallet.
Stuff that's on a hard time deadline.
Yeah, this dude ain't doing it.
Stuff that's more flexible.
Baby. Yeah, I got you. And we're a good team in that. But, baby, he trusts me a lot. Because he don't never ask me nothing. He don't ask me where the money is, what it's doing. He knows the money is moneying.
The money is moneying.
That's all he needs to know. The money is money. Like a lot of times I'll buy something big and he'll be like, did we have the money? Listen, if I bought it, we got it.
It's there.
I will make it work. So, but yeah, that's good. So your emotions are intact?
They are now.
For the most, they getting there?
They're getting there.
I think emotions are, to be honest, sitting where I'm sitting in life right now, I think emotions are something that you're always going to have to be working on.
Yeah.
Because think about it like this. As you branch into new situations, become a mother. I'm sorry, wrong order. Get married. Have children. You know what I'm saying? And then those children go through different stages in life. As those things occur, you will be working on different emotions that come through, because right now it's only you. But think about it when you get a husband. Now you got to deal with his emotions, your emotions, everybody's emotions, right?
Right.
And so hopefully I've raised you good enough to bring good people into your life that the man that you choose will talk to you like a queen that you are, and not, because I've seen this where the men don't talk right.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So who wants to contend with that? Right?
Not me.
Right. So, but some women out there are contending with that.
I used to. I've been involved with people who tried to talk to me crazy.
Yeah,
that didn't last.
But you gotta sometimes go through that so you can know what you don't want.
Right. Exactly.
And so when you marry a person, you want them to talk to you right. You want them, because that brings stress. But those bring all new emotions, all new things. And so as you're learning and growing through life, the emotions are always going to have to come. All right. Well, that's our show for today on emotions. We want to hear from you. How do you think your emotions are? Do you have them intact? Do you have them in check? Let us know on any of our socials. Instagram is where I go the most. So hit us up on Instagram. If you don't want people to see what you're doing, hit us up in our DMs. We welcome that.
Oh.
Yeah. Nobody hits us up on our DMs, but if you want to, you can.
More than welcome. They are open.
They are open. So follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We're on all social media. Follow us there. Listen to us on all major podcast platforms. Let us know how you like the show. Give us a 5-star review.
Please,
if you feel so inclined. If you feel so inclined, yeah, please and thank you. So that's our show for today. We will see you guys on the next episode. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We look forward to you joining us on the next episode. Until then, be inspired and enlightened.